Good morning, Thursday morning, heading out to Tel Aviv for a pretty exciting but a pretty relaxed day, starting it on Rothschild Boulevard, meeting Micah Avni, who was introduced to me via approximately 4,000 people, including Michael Eisenberg. He's a successful business dude, but he's also somewhat of a activist, let's call it, after his father was unfortunately tragically murdered in a terrorist attack. So let's just say we have several things we want to talk about. Excited to meet him. And then I'm meeting a friend, Nate, who's an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur I've known for many years. I actually introduced him to a company back in the day that I was advising, and his company ended up acquiring them. So we also go way back. Good dude. Bumped into him in a building in Tel Aviv a couple of weeks ago, and we said we'll catch up over lunch. So that, a few other meetings in Tel Aviv, coming back home, a couple of meetings here, and then the weekend. It's all good. Let's do this. You know how I always show you the beautiful Tel Aviv and all the beautiful skies and all the beautiful weather? Today is not that day. Good news and bad news. Made it to Rothschild Boulevard. The good news is I was gonna get a car wash, but I decided against it, and it's pouring outside. So I got myself a car wash. The bad news is I got a 5 to 7 minute walk to my first meeting, and I don't even know if I have an umbrella. I don't even know if I own an umbrella. I have an umbrella. Boom. Also, a thing of beauty. Love me some Porsche. I wouldn't drive it because I don't do German, but it is a thing of beauty. Not often I have to walk down Rothschild Boulevard with an umbrella. All right, so I'm sitting here. What time is it right now? It's 11:40 in the morning in Tel Aviv, a rainy morning, not something you see very often in Tel Aviv. And I'm sitting with someone who, it always amazes me with this tiny little ecosystem that there are even people that that I haven't met yet, especially people that are doing things that are so, what's the word, what's the adjective of synergy? Synergetic, that's the word. So much synergy between the two of, what you do and what I do, and yet we haven't met. Incredible. Shout out to my friend and role model, Michael Eisenberg, who originally thought of the idea to introduce us, which, again, I don't know how that hasn't happened before. But let's just start from the beginning, all right? Who are you?
My name is Micah Avni.
Micah Avni. Where are you from?
Originally from Glastonbury, Connecticut.
Okay, so you're already interesting. It's already interesting. A Jew in the middle of
2 to 1,000 people who live there.
Right, okay. So that's first of all. You moved to Israel at the same age. Well, I don't know how old you are, but you were 15 when you moved here. I was 15 when I moved here. So that's just an interesting coincidence. Let's just jump in. Sure. Get the elephant in the room, out of the room. Definitely. We both lost loved ones to terror. Your father was horribly, tragically murdered 3 years ago in a terrorist attack by a Palestinian terrorist on a bus in Jerusalem. Obviously, Ari was murdered, I don't even know how many months ago it was now. I'm totally lost track of time. That's one. Two, and I'm going to say something that's going to sound a little bit conceited, but you'll get over it. You kind of own your space in the finance world. Yes. Kind of like what I do in the tech world. Not that I'm on your level, but on a different scale. And I'm going to let you talk in a second. I just want to give the context here. But in addition to your ownership of the specific niche that you're in the finance world, you're also very, very, very deeply passionate about Israel and our position in the world. Since that horrible tragedy, you've done incredible things for the state of Israel, for the Jewish people, etc. We share that in common. We both have massive networks. Share that in common. So we have a lot of things in common.
I would also add that both of our fathers, we grew up in houses where our fathers were school principals.
That's true too. Wow, that's a good point. We have a lot of things in common. By the way, I'm hoping that the lighting is not super bright. I think our faces are okay. Okay, so let's start with the professional aspect of what you do. And obviously there's a lot of things that we can't talk about on camera, which maybe we will in the future. Right now, not. But just know this is not live. We'll edit it. Anything we want, edit it out afterwards. But just give me your professional background for starters. What do you do?
Okay, so I founded and manage a company called the Peninsula Group. We lend money to small and medium-sized businesses here in Israel. We're a commercial finance business.
Is it peninsulagroup.com?
The website? Peninsula.co.il.
Peninsula.co.il. Okay, fine.
And I've been building this business over the past 15 years.
And you own it?
Yeah, we've become the market leader in the space. We're a publicly traded company today. We have hundreds of clients all over Israel. And I basically defined the industry over the past 15 years.
Love it.
We now have many competitors. Once upon a time, all commercial finance was dominated by the major banks, and now, as we've said, the industry will become competitive and offer a solution for the small and medium-sized.
Amazing. Okay, so that's your let's call it main gig.
Correct. It does take a lot of time.
But you're also very, very deeply passionate. Was it, by the way, were you this passionate, or were you passionate at all about Israel before the horrible tragedy, or that was it? What?
No, I was always very passionate about Israel. I've been a big Zionist.
Which is a dirty word today.
Not for me.
I know. Not for me either. I'm a Zionist, but I'm saying in the world it's perceived as a dirty word. Oh my God, it's Zionist. Like, ridiculous. Don't get me started. Too early in the morning for that. But, okay, so, I don't want to dwell on our tragedy. Both of us are very optimistic and positive people, and we look towards the future, but, that obviously amplified your passion. And you asked yourself a very basic question, which I think not enough people in the world ask themselves. And you'll forgive me for getting, too direct and straightforward, but it's important to emphasize this point. You asked yourself, how does a person, a human being with blood running through his veins, get on a bus and open fire and kill random, innocent old men and then go and stab them after they're already down? What kind of person does that? And you answered the question. You said, a person who's educated from age 0 to do that is the person that does that. And you said this is not acceptable.
Right.
Tell me about that.
So my father was riding a bus on his way back from a doctor's appointment. A 76-year-old retired elementary school principal. These two terrorists get on the bus and they really start shooting and stabbing people. They shot him in the head and fell to the ground and stabbed him in the face and the chest and all that. It was horrible. And he was brought to the hospital unconscious, where he remained in the ICU for 2 weeks before passing away. And I spent 2 weeks sitting there next to him in the ICU thinking, how could this have happened? What kind of person can shoot an old man sitting on a bus in the head and then stab his body after it's fallen to the ground and shoot other people, by the way, 15 other people on the bus? Who could do something so horrible? What brings a 20-year-old to that point? Right?
He's 20?
20, yeah.
Ari's murderer was 16. 16 years old.
And at the time, exactly, this was horrible. There were many other stabbing attacks at the time, and sometimes kids as young as 14 years old doing these things. I said, how could a 14-year-old who should be out playing soccer or playing video games with their friends or whatever, how can they go and stab someone? What brings them to that point? I always remember my father as an educator talking about little children, that 3-year-olds are pure, a little kid, and we both have a bunch of children, so we've experienced that. Kids are born and they're positive and they're happy and they're pure, and that only changes if they're educated in a different way. Right? Yep. And what I saw is there's been this massive education in Palestinian society towards hatred and violence and killing Jews. And that's been going on for a long time, but social media and the internet brought it to an entirely different level.
Amplified it.
My kids sit home and spend much too much time, to my mind, with their iPhone, looking at Barney and learning all sorts of things. And fortunately, they're seeing positive things. They're learning how to do art and they're learning how to play and be friends. But imagine the same kid sits with their iPhone and is seeing these videos that the Palestinian Authority have been putting out for years now, teaching kids to go out and stab and to kill and to be violent and to hate Jews. And you watch that 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day, different videos and loops. Their mind is going to get to a place where they can go out and kill somebody.
So let me just cut you off for 1 second and say one thing. What you're describing is a reality, right? We all know it. We all see it. There's no denying it. There's one difference, though. You, unlike everyone else, were not willing to accept it. And you said, this is unacceptable. This is a reality that I'm not willing to live with. I'm going to do something about this. I'm going to tell the world that this is what's happening a half an hour from here. That kids, innocent children, are being brainwashed to the most extreme levels to believe that every Jew they see should be murdered because that Jew is the devil. And you stood up and you said, I'm going to do something about this, which I have to say, even on a personal level, as a person who does some activism on the internet, let's call it, I kind of throw my hands up in there and say, what am I going to do? I'm not going to change the world. You said, screw that, I'm going to change the world. And you've done, and you continue to do incredible things to impact the reality, the very sad reality of the Palestinian people and their education and incitement, and, including, op-eds in the New York Times, and, just tell me a little bit more about the things that you've done over the past, 3 years.
So I grew up in a house, and my father and my parents were civil rights activists. And I remember growing up on stories of how they would go down south and sit at lunch counters in the black section.
What irony,
They were arrested for doing that, right? How they marched with Martin Luther King, and how they rode on buses and got arrested for sitting in the black section. And I used that word to say the black section because that's what my father was saying. I think it's perfectly fine because anybody who went down and was willing to risk their life helping out and working for civil rights can use whatever terminology they want. It's not about terminology, it's about actions.
Right. That was the reality, by the way. Right. No, I mean, you can't sugarcoat it. Right. That was the reality.
He set up a summer camp integrating white and black children in Connecticut, the first one ever, and obviously came under a lot of fire for doing that, but set an example for his community. He was the first school in Connecticut to integrate and bring in inner city children to the school, which he initiated. And after he was murdered, I got a note from the first black child who came to his all-white school in Connecticut. And he wrote about how my father changed his life, and he said he came with such fear in first grade, and my father was waiting there next to the door to the school, greeted him as he got off the bus every day during that year, and he learned later in life that my father had insisted that his mother join the PTA and forced the PTA to accept her. So I grew up in a house that had that kind of worldview. But after Dad was murdered, my soul was just set on fire. And I just took that energy and it's driven me forward.
Which to me again is remarkable because our stories are very comparable. And while yes, obviously I've always been and I am now a very passionate person about a lot of things. This tragedy, I couldn't get out of bed for months. Like I'm like, how do I even function? Let alone become an activist. And and again, we talked about this earlier. A lot of people have sent me all kinds of causes, and I'm like, leave me the hell alone. Like I need to get back into tech. I need to do my thing. But you didn't let it get you down. You went and you used it as like a diving board.
Right. So first of all, I think everybody deals with this in their own individual way. There's no right answer. Everybody has to do what works for them, right? And it's not easy for anybody. And obviously, you're back in the swing of things and you're taking it in a positive way. And it's incredible. It's inspirational. Lots of people don't manage to do that. So I took this forward and I started thinking, how can I get this message out? I mean, I looked around and I read, and nobody was talking about it. Today, it's obvious that there's echo chambers in the internet, and people are influenced by what they read, and social media, and how it's impacting our minds. But at the end of 2015, nobody was talking about terror or incitement on the internet at all. It just wasn't happening. And I said, so I'm just going to go talk about this anywhere I can. And I wrote pieces in the New York Times, and the Wall Street Journal, and Newsweek, and all over the place, and TV, CNN, just to get that message out. And I think my father's story resonated with people. I think
because he wasn't some crazy, settler, quote unquote. He was a guy who was a human rights activist.
He was a kind, good, dedicated human being, just like your brother, right? But because he's framed and viewed as a progressive American educator of children who's not religious, that
resonated stronger. Okay, so I know that there's a lot of sensitive things that we talked about and we can't necessarily talk about on camera, but let's just say our missions in life very much align in many, many different ways. And again, let me know if you want me to cut this out, but is it okay to say that you're building something that will hopefully change the game and would like me to be involved?
Yes.
Am I allowed to say that?
Okay, sure.
Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to hear more soon, but the bottom line is we have two people here who have built unique networks and skills in different worlds and have both unfortunately experienced horrible tragedy and lost loved ones, and combining these abilities could potentially, and I'm walking on eggshells here, could potentially change the game. So we're gonna work on that together.
Definitely.
We're okay in safe territory here?
We're in very safe territory.
Okay. All right. I'm very excited about it also. This is a kickoff meeting.
Okay.
We're going to continue the conversation. Hopefully we'll meet next week again, and let's do good things together.
Amazing.
Thanks. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Thanks for the interview. I had to be careful. I get this guy on camera. He's like a hotshot. Anyway, I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Craziest weather ever in this place. Got a couple of more meetings for the rest of the day, and then the weekend. I'm going to call it a week. See you next week.